Been feeling weak recently. Well, not recently, just for a while now. That's also the reason why I haven't been rambling as much. My eyes tired, yet I've already slept. Every time I would try to wake and ramble, I just feel like it's way better to keep sleeping. So I do, which is something I don't want to admit. It's like I've already made peace with the lack of stimulus that I'll get. Nothing fun, nothing relatable, nothing to look forward to, other than sleep and no one to talk to. At times like these, I plead, I grieve, I cry, I weep. Why me? For every time I endured and will endure the pain I experienced for no good reason, shouldn't I get paid my dues? Don't I deserve attention? Deserve care? Deserve love? Why don't I have anyone that understands me? Don't get me wrong, I know it's impossible to fully understand someone, but isn't it about the attempt? Or rather, isn't it about trying to see the person I am today more so than the person you knew before? And then there's the door, the one I've traveled through each time I ask this question, and I always get the same answer. Love isn't something you should get just because you're in pain. It's not some voucher you can use to soothe your mental boo boos. Can it help? Yes. But if you keep thinking like that, you only drown someone else in your loneliness. I do want to stress that this isn't always the case. That there are people who are great, kind, and too gentle for their own good that fear this. They do deserve love, since I'm sure they'll do everything for their partner, which is also why I know that I don't deserve it, or at least not yet. Not that I want to drag myself down, as I think that this is something only others can judge, but I just know what I'm made of. I'm a glorified defense mechanism of loneliness. Every inch, every gap, every pore of social need is patched up with myself. That's how I cope. I talk to myself, I joke and laugh with myself, and quite honestly, I think I'd still prefer myself over most of anyone I'd meet right now, even though the loneliness is crippling. I'd probably get defensive, or rather, I think some part of me would even get jealous. Jealous about someone trying to soothe my social needs, as it thinks that I'd be better off talking to myself anyway, which is why I know that I'm not deserving yet. Even if it happened, I'd probably opt to push them away, give them a reason to dislike me, or keep them at arm's length. The worst thing is that I'd be doing it mostly conscious or semi conscious, thinking that it's better that way. It's easier. I hurt myself and them before I can do any more damage than I already would do with pushing them away. I also tend to move on quickly from one mental state to another. Like, I'd have a fun idea and then get bored of it over the next 3 days, or even earlier. And I'm scared that will happen with love too. But who's to know? Maybe someday when I'm not floating in space. The second thing I hear is no one is coming to save you, and you shouldn't live like someone will. Now, this is bad advice. There are people who are social, or have friends that will go into the depths for them. But when you lack that, This is kind of the conclusion you come to after being vulnerable and exposing yourself, just to notice that no one is watching again and again. You begin spiraling. You make rules and conditions for yourself that don't even make sense, but they somehow keep you clinging to that despicable, watered down version of hope you desperately seek out, only to be met with the same pain you were feeling before. You figure out that you're on your own. I think that it depends from person to person what happens afterwards. I decided that if no one was coming to save me, I'd save myself. I was so caught up with running towards hope that I became increasingly more annoyed and desperate every time that these self imposed rules led to nothing but disappointment. So I stopped running through the light altogether and sat down in the dark. Edgy, I know. But that was my conclusion back then, when I became like this. The faster you run towards hope, the further it feels. At some point, you get so caught up in running that you start thinking about why you're running in the first place. Was it getting you anywhere? Was it easing the pain? For me, the answer was no. So I started making myself more comfortable in any way I could. Give up on this, loosen up on that, enjoy the boredom, enjoy the nothing. I was shaping myself to what I couldn't influence. Funny how that's something that keeps occurring. At some point, there probably was something that the me from the past couldn't handle, and it made me shape myself around me. I think that's why I'm so protective over myself. Also, why I'd get jealous if someone were to share some of my burden with me. I unconsciously cling to the notion that I am all I need. The same paranoia I had that made me spiral down for hope turned me into someone that actively avoids it. What I find funny is that I could have gone down so many paths if the first thought I had was any different than having to save myself. But now I'm a castle made of me's that shaped themselves around the me they wanted to protect. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. Your only comrades breaking their backs to hold on to something which they themselves are slowly destroying. I don't even hate them. I could never. I love each of them dearly, which makes it worse due to knowing that they all mean well. Don't get me wrong, they're idiotic and stupid, but they're trying their best. Besides, I'll probably join the castle wall myself one day, so I can't be too rough on it. The third thing I hear is something encouraging, since everyone needs something to cling on to or something to break the tension. It adds character. Little inside joke. There's something morbid about always being able to see a positive in something. It's like you keep falling down, and at some point you've made peace with falling down. But there's this annoying device that restarts your heart with an electrical shock. You get up again and again while you actually just want to stay down and fade away. But it doesn't allow you to. It keeps doing the thing, and you'll have to keep getting up. At some point, you won't even feel the energy it gives you anymore. When it says it's running time, you reply with, "Yes, honey," as you puff out the dust from your lungs. Or, in my case, what would be lungs. Ain't it funny how I'm built to give up by stopping to care about something, while also be built to get up again no matter if I'm wit's end? But anyway, I either encourage myself by telling me that I'll always be there for him, even if the world won't, or joke about it and give myself a laugh. And now we've reached the end of the door, until I ask the same question to get me the same answer again and again. Push, pull, repeat. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm sick and tired of it. This whole internal micromanaging stuff, the defense mechanism springing into actions without me asking, and most of all, the feeling of me looking down on myself, pitying me in my turbulent time, thinking that he's oh so much greater than me, or knows it so much better than me. Leave me to wallow in my sadness, okay? Just for once, don't pick me up. If anything, kick me down. Give me a reason to hate you. Give me a reason to despise you that isn't due to you giving me strength. How am I ever going to change if you keep coddling me? How will I learn if you defend my every mistake, while also calming me down whenever I do achieve something? Just lay me down already. A life this monochrome isn't really worth living. It's my despicable self keeping me on life support. Sorry for lashing out like that. It happens from time to time. It's funny because he's not even here to hear or see. Wait. What?